Welcome to my review of Will Smith trying to lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks. This is episode number 2, and I'm going to follow along with you on this episode and tell you what went wrong. So let us begin.
I noticed that most people came back from Christmas vacation heavier and out of shape. So the holidays, for me, became an opportunity to extend my lead. I made it a point to come back every new year in better shape than I left last. I would work out and sometimes even abstain from Christmas dinner as an act of personal discipline.
You do not have to abstain from Christmas dinner in order to succeed at weight loss. If you think that that's what you need to do in order to succeed, then you are doing it wrong.
My father was my hero. He demanded rigid perfection from himself and the people around him. When I was 11 years old, he decided he wanted a new wall on the front of his shop. Every day for nearly a year, my brother and I would go to my father's shop after school to work on that wall. There were so many times I remember looking at that hole totally discouraged. But Daddy-O wouldn't let us stop. Stop thinking about the damn wall, he said. Your job is to lay this brick perfectly. Then move on to the next brick. Don't be worrying about no wall. Your only concern is one brick.
Don't worry about building no wall. Just lay one perfect brick today.
Okay, so you just saw why Will believes the way that he does. It came from his father and this one brick story. And I like the lesson that his father was giving him, but I believe in this episode towards the end you're going to see that he misinterprets the one brick lesson, and we'll get to that later.
Shit. Nice. It's the right weight, man. Last week, Will actually gained weight, and this was when he was hitting the workouts pretty hard.
222. I put weight on.
Obviously, there's always going to be a reaction to that.
Okay, so now his personal trainer says, obviously there's going to be a reaction to that. And by that, he means the reaction to getting on the scale after 1 week of working your butt off and not losing any weight. And then to add insult to injury, he actually gains 1 pound. Therein lies the reason why the trainer should not have put him on the scale at that 1 week interval. And if you didn't see my review of episode number 1, you can go back and watch that. And the problem I have here is that what he should have done is just measured his waistline. That's it. Weighing him at 1 week was a ridiculous thought. And if you're out there trying to lose weight, you should not be weighing yourself every week, people. Maybe once a month, and that's it. If that.
That's exactly, see that face right then, right at the end? That's exactly what it is. Goes into a totally different space.
Oh, that was 9, because, see, it's my mind. So I'm trying to find a balance
I get it.
between being safe.
And I want to call security for me.
All right, I'm going for 3 pounds this week.
Just make sure you put some protein and some fats in, so you still want to crunch. Use that crunch. There you go.
Will really derives a sense of self from always succeeding and being well-liked. The need to feel like, I'm going to be loved, I'm going to win. And for Will, this is his drug. But unfortunately, as with any addiction, it can kind of get a little out of control.
Come on, Will. Get your head back. This little ass weight that you can't lift.
My father was military. He was Air Force. I grew up with the double-edged gift of discipline.
That was the hardest day so far. I slept perfectly, just woke up really depleted.
Here, Will says he slept perfectly, but he woke up depleted. Watching him here work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now it's Thursday, and he's expecting to have the same energy. There's no way. He's working out really hard, and when it comes down to it, I thought he was supposed to have a day off after 2 days of working out. according to episode number 1, where Mr. Ferguson laid out the plan. Now, I don't know if it's Will who is the one who's decided to not take a day off, or if it's Mr. Ferguson's plan that I misinterpreted.
It was military motivation in my house. You get that flag to the top of that hill. And his other favorite thing was, when I send you on a mission, there's 2 possibilities. 1, you complete the mission, or 2, you're dead.
Okay, I want to stop here and just point out how much weight Will is lifting. You saw episode 1, you saw me comment on the fact that I think he's lifting way too much. This is just overkill, and it's not necessary in order for him to sculpt his muscles. This is misinformation from the physical fitness culture.
Nice.
Burnt. I'm exhausted. I got nothing. Yeah, shoulders back. 7. That's good. That's enough.
Yeah, Will didn't turn up for the session today. It always bums me out when we miss a session. Yeah, consistency is key.
True, and that is consistency is key. The problem is Mr. Ferguson is saying this while he's trying to make someone do something consistent that is virtually impossible for most normal humans to do. Will Smith, of course, is on another level because he's got so much ambition and drive. But the reality is, you don't need that much ambition and drive in order to succeed at losing 20 pounds. I think it's ironic that his personal trainer is surprised he doesn't show up on Saturday for his workout when he worked out Monday through Friday, and he worked out a hell of a lot. And he did more than anyone could have ever asked of him.
So, it would be great to have him here, but he's not. Yeah, he didn't turn up for this one.
How you feeling this morning, Will?
Low energy.
You weren't happy with the result last week because your weight was up?
No, I was happy.
You were okay? But did
was.
you react to it in terms of the amount of food that you ate this week? Yeah, see, that's...
No.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't.
You
I
did.
didn't. Okay. Is this an honest show, or are we gonna...
Yeah, let's shoot for honesty.
Let's shoot for honesty. But I had 2 days worth of reaction.
So Will says he had 2 days worth of reaction. And now reaction for people can go one of 2 ways. Most people, when they react to being disappointed by their first week of exercise not resulting in weight loss, will actually quit. And then some will even binge at that time because they're making up for the fact that they've deprived themselves for the first week. But Will, of course, has a lot of ambition and drive, and he instead went the other direction.
What did you do?
Oh, just
Like 500 calories in the
eggs, boiled eggs, raw vegetables. That's it.
the whole day?
The whole day.
So obviously Will takes the other approach where he does the deprivation style. Boiled eggs and raw vegetables does not sound appeasing to most people. And I know plenty of people who don't even like vegetables when they're perfectly steamed with butter and salt and pepper. And here Will is making himself choke down raw vegetables, and that's not sustainable for anybody. That is really missing out on the point of life, in my opinion. I am a foodie. I love food. I love to eat food. I love the experience of food. And it's sad that Will thinks that he has to give that up in order to succeed at losing weight. Again, this is misinformation, and this is misinformation from the diet industry.
And I was doing like 14 hours of fast. I would like stop eating, right? So I know that worked before,
Okay, I have to stop here and point out the look on Aaron's face. The personal trainer seems devastated to hear that Will stopped eating for 14 hours. And that's crazy because there's 24 hours in a day. Will stopped eating for 14. That meant there were 10 other hours in the day that he was able to eat. But this comes from misinformation from the fitness industry that thinks that you have to be eating all the time. That is outdated information, to be exact.
I'm not into fasting as a way of weight loss. I don't like it at all. And I don't think it's a healthy way to go about it.
What do you mean when you say fasting worked before?
Hey guys, sorry, we have to change cards.
Yep.
Is that a tough question or something?
So as I sit here right now, we're attempting to be honest.
Wait, what does that mean?
When it was decided that we were going to do the weight loss, Aaron said, let's weigh in. And I said, no. So a week before the camera showed up, I weighed in 226.
Wait, so a week before the filming on January 1st, you lost 5 pounds a week from just going.
I did a fast.
So why did you want to lose weight in order to...
I just didn't want to be on camera at the end of 230 pounds. The 226 was the most I've ever weighed.
So here we go again with Will being hyper-focused on the number on the scale. And what's interesting is that Will is a man, and most women are the ones who suffer from this condition so much. But here Will is too hyper-focused on the weight number on the scale, when really he should just be focused on what he looks like in the mirror. Because in my opinion, I'm seeing him looking better throughout this second video here.
Did he know at that point?
Hey, Aaron? No. I told him later.
So here is where I call out Will on his only mistake when it comes to his own doing, and that is he's hired these professionals to help him. And even though I don't agree with the methodologies that they're using, the problem is that their client is not being honest with the coach. And this is where the relationship can break down, because when you pay somebody to tell you how to do something or to show you how to do something, if they don't have all the information at hand with what's going on with you, how can you really expect them to completely help you? So this is where I put it on Will, for shame on him for not being honest with his personal trainer.
It's not actually peanut butter.
What kind of peanut butter?
It's a kind of peanut butter.
Almond butter.
Almond butter.
Almond butter. So it's
Yeah.
almond butter, banana, and what's the cracker?
Seed cracker.
A seed cracker.
We brought in Mona. She's a nutritionist, and also with Will's doctor, we're going to try to set up a sustainable diet that's going to be healthy, and he's going to have all the energy that he needs.
Now we go over Mona, the nutritionist. What I want to do is separate for you the difference between a nutritionist and a registered dietitian. Anyone can call themselves a nutritionist. The term dietitian is tightly regulated. Dietitians are credentialed by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. You can't call yourself a dietitian without formal training, supervised work hours in the field, and continuing education to maintain your license and credentials. And here's the caveat, people. Dietitians can refer to themselves as nutritionists, but nutritionists cannot call themselves dietitians. And the point of the conversation here is that a nutritionist or a registered dietitian can both be giving you outdated information on how to lose weight. And this is where I have a problem in the fact that a lot of people are looking to, especially licensed dietitians, for advice on helping them to lose weight. And of course, to keep up with our tally of how much it's costing Will to do this 6 months of nutritionist services, I'm going to say it's about $540.
So this is guacamole, seed cracker, and sprouts.
We had to focus on this idea of nourishment. How's it going to feel to nourish your body with the right foods?
So we're trying to find pre-workout options for you.
So when we look down at his plate, we want to make sure that there is 60 to 70% of high quality plant-based foods. We also want to make sure that there is a high quality protein and good quality fat.
Second sip got better. Third sip.
Yeah, this is horrible. So, but it's not about taste.
So now here's Will saying that it's not about taste when it comes to his pre-workout smoothie. Misinformation again, but then again, I'm not sure if this misinformation is coming from the nutritionist or not, but Will is her client, and if she's trying to find a pre-workout smoothie for him and he says it tastes horrible, then obviously she needs to find something different for him. And remember, people, we all have different palates, so what may work for you may not work for someone else, but the important thing is you need to enjoy drinking it or eating it. And if you don't you need to cut that out of your diet because it's not going to be sustainable for you to continue to do that, no matter how good it is for you.
No.
Scotty just finished his.
It's not about taste.
It's not that bad.
So you are ridiculously disciplined, you follow your regimen.
So Dr. Alice Stanford is a pediatric surgeon, and she's coming in here to help Will and the team. But what I like about her is that she stays in her lane. She's a physician. She's an MD. So she's not here saying to them that she knows the diet and nutrition for weight loss. And that's what I appreciate about her. But I also appreciate the fact that she's not overweight. So if she did happen to give any advice about weight loss, at least she is not an overweight doctor. Because if you ever are in a doctor's office and you are trying to lose weight and your physician that's attending to you is overweight, that's not the person you should be asking about weight loss for sure. But more on that in a moment.
You do your exercise training, and you're obviously going to be expending more energy exercising, right? How do we make sure that you are replenishing, in terms of your nutrition to lose the weight and get to where you want to be?
Yeah, actually today we put a monitoring system on him, so it'll measure exactly how many calories that he's burning on a daily basis.
Now we introduce the Fitbit, another scale of measurement that, of course, Will can now become obsessed about, just like he was with the weight scale. Fitbits range anywhere from $20 to $90, and I'm pretty sure Will has spent the money on the $90 one because he loves data. And unfortunately, this Fitbit can lead to the same problem Will is having with the weight scale, where he's so focused on the numbers. And you have the best piece of equipment of all when it comes to losing weight, and that is your human body. It's just unfortunate this team isn't tapping into that part of the equation. And of course, to keep up with our tally that we're running on how much Will is spending, Dr. Stanford probably charges anywhere from $100 to $200 for a private visit like this. So we're going to say on average maybe $150 for this session.
So if we're looking to lose a pound a week, 1 pound roughly equates to around 3,500 calories.
Now here we go with the calorie counting. Calorie counting is true inside of a lab with energy input and energy output. But when it comes to Will, our bodies as human beings are much more dynamic than a calorie counting device. Counting calories is not going to help you to lose weight. It's just a distraction. A great distraction, by the way, by the processed food companies that would want you to focus on calories so that you can take your eye off of the really bad stuff that's inside of the processed food packages. In this series, you see him have an entire team of people that he has hired to help him reach his goal of losing the 20 pounds. And I congratulate Will on putting forth the effort of investing in himself, and that is investing in having people who he thinks knows what to do teach him how to do it. The unfortunate thing is the people he's enlisted are using outdated information. And by this I mean that here we are in 2021, we have the internet out there with all this free information, but yet 72% of Americans are overweight and 42% are obese. So what's going wrong here? You have the internet with readily available information at your fingertips, but yet people are still overweight. Then you have what's going on here with Will Smith actually paying really good money for quote unquote professionals to teach him the path to losing the 20 pounds. And this is what I like to say is my favorite saying: you don't know what you don't know until you know it. What you're seeing here is people that have a good heart and believe what they believe, but unfortunately it is not based on the science of today when it comes to the human body. So therein lies the misconceptions that I don't want you to believe in.
So divided by 7, it's 500 calorie deficit a day, which is a minimal amount.
Okay.
On to the MD degree. When it comes to Dr. Stanford, like I said before, I like the way that she stays in her lane and not to profess that she knows about nutrition when it comes to weight loss. When it comes to an MD, their job is to diagnose and treat disease. They either treat disease by prescribing medication or referral for surgery or a referral for therapy, and that therapy can be physical or mental. But here's the bottom line. U.S. medical schools offering the MD recommends no less than 25 hours of nutrition education training. And this is across a 4-year medical school curriculum. However, many schools fall short. These hours that they're required to do have nothing to do with weight loss. What they have to do with is medication interaction and how it affects the body. And that boils down to 6.5 hours per year. That is not enough time for a doctor to be properly trained on nutrition when it comes to weight loss. But again, it's not their job. Now, the job boils down to the nutritionist and the registered dietitians, but unfortunately, like I said earlier, they can be giving you outdated information.
For Will, goals are everything. It's pretty clear that that came a lot from childhood, where Will really had the sense of, I've got to work, I've got to succeed, I've got to lose this much weight. He has to win completely to stay safe, to stay in control. One of the challenges, though, is control is always an illusion. And when we start getting into the illusion of control over food, it actually can get quite tricky.
Now, here's my favorite person on the team, Dr. Ramani Darvusala. She is spot on. She is great at telling us why Will does what he does, and I love her for it.
Will treats the weigh-ins in his typically lighthearted way.
So I was trying to lose a pound and I gained a pound last week.
But deep down, the number on the scale means everything.
We gotta know if we're making progress. It was 220.6, 220.6.
Anybody notice here that they are no longer using the scale off to the right there? They started on the traditional weight scale, which I trust more than anything. But here we are now having them use a digital weight scale. And the reason for this is because they want to now measure weight loss or gain to 1/10 of a pound, which is getting even more ridiculous. As you know, weighing yourself and focusing on the numbers is wrong in the first place. But now you add the extra added detail of going to 1/10 of a pound. Now we're really getting crazy. And none of that is conducive to the weight loss journey, especially when it comes to a person who is so freaking obsessed about the scale.
That's exactly what we want every week.
I've never looked this bad. I'm gonna fix it though.
So how are you gonna fix it, Will?
We're going to Dubai.
So now he's spending $1,000 round trip, and I think he's taking 3 other people with him.
What's so special about Dubai?
Dubai fits my personality. It just speaks to how I see the world, how I see life. If you're gonna build a building, are you really not gonna try to build the Burj Khalifa? The best thing about Dubai is that it's 12 hours away from Los Angeles. When they're awake, I'm asleep. When they're asleep, I'm awake. It's perfect. It's like no contact, no phone calls. I want to get my body and my mind in the best shape they can be so I can feel good and look good and be in a headspace that allows me to get this book done.
So here he says he wants to be in a headspace to get the book done by looking good and feeling good. But unfortunately, he's choosing a way that's making him feel very tired and depleted. And on top of that, it's messing with his mind and making him feel like a failure. So now he's about to embark on something where I think it really not a good idea, climbing to the top of the Burj Khalifa.
Look, I think it's challenging for anyone to really change their eating habits, but the best way to be able to do that is if you can stick to a plan for a limited amount of time and start to see the results, it will inspire you to stay with that plan. Really good work.
Get strong. About to get strong. DJ Jazzy Jeff. Jeff was the first friend I'd ever had who plain and simple outworked me. There was a Band-Aid around his middle scratching finger on his left hand. Apparently he had been scratching so much that the top knuckle of his finger now had a bend in it. I think there would be a misrepresentation to say that Jeff practiced a lot. It wasn't that he was practicing, it was that he didn't do anything else. You'd never catch Jeff in the kitchen or watching TV. Jeff was standing in front of his turntables 14 to 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. By the time I'd get to rehearsal around 4 p.m., Jeff had already put in 10 hours of work. He was a hip-hop terminator. He didn't eat, he didn't sleep, and he absolutely, positively would not stop until you were dead. We became the first rappers ever to receive a Grammy Award.
But you know what I think about it is when something is good, it doesn't matter how long it is.
Records were Jeff's bricks.
Okay, this is the part where I think that Will gets the lesson wrong about the bricks. He says records were Jeff's bricks, and that's not the case. When Will's father was having him and his brother build that brick wall, that's no fun for any kid. To do that every day after school, that's gotta suck. But what DJ Jazzy Jeff was doing was playing music, and that's what he really enjoyed, or I guess scratching records as they called it. That was not work to him, so he could do it 14, 16 hours a day without a problem. And he even makes the comment when he says, when something is good, it doesn't matter how long it is. But Will didn't hear that.
Let me see. My estimation is...
That's a great result, dude.
You know, I'll take that. That's what I was thinking. I got carb depleted the other day and fell out of the workout. You know, the protein and the carbs and fats, and it's like a lesson. Try to figure out what to eat and when and all of that to burn the maximum fat, build the maximum muscle, but still have energy.
Now here's Will getting into counting the macros, and that's just actually busy work. If Will's not intending to get on stage and compete against professional bodybuilders, that's just a lot of extra work he does not need to do in order to succeed at losing the 20 pounds. So if you're the one out there counting calories, you already know not to do that. But I'm going to add to that, stop wasting your time on the macros too.
So we are outside of the Burj Khalifa. It's the tallest building on earth. For our cardio, we're going to just walk the stairs all the way to the top. 160 floors.
I hope we haven't taken on a
little bit too much.
bit too much.
So this is official one. This is ground level, level one. So this is the first leg of the Burj Khalifa. I've got a bad feeling about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think we should call it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Through laying bricks, Daddy-O was training me in limitless perseverance in the face of any and all inner enemies. Assisted rescue area. I'm gonna need that. For my entire career, I've been committed to a work ethic of uncompromising intensity. You show up and you lay another brick. Pissed off, lay another brick. Bad opening weekend, lay another brick. Album sales dropping, lay another brick. Marriage failing, lay another brick.
How you doing, big fella?
I'm great.
We're good. We're golden. We need to create some drama.
It'll come. Nearly a year after my brother and I had started the wall, we mixed the final pile and laid the final brick. Daddy-O plucked his cigarette to the ground and said, "Now don't y'all ever tell me it's something you can't do."
Hope our legs don't lock up.
This was a true statement. He should have listened to his own words. I hope our legs don't lock up. I'm concerned that he's going to get a repetitive strain injury that would impact muscles, nerves, ligaments, and tendons. And these types of injuries can be caused by improper technique or overuse. So does anybody think while trying to climb 160 flights of stairs that may constitute overuse? Or would let his client, which is Will, do something like this at 3 or 4 weeks in when they still have many more weeks to go. And if he injures himself here or he creates a strain injury, then he's going to be out the rest of the time. So I don't think this was too smart of them to do.
My father gave me my name. He gave me his name. And he gave me my greatest advantage in life, the ability to persist in the face of anything, to always get up and lay another brick. He gave me will.
This is where I believe that Will equates his name with the word willpower. Will is relying on willpower in order to get this done, which is losing the 20 pounds. Don't expect willpower to get you through this. Like we all know, willpower is like a honeymoon. You know, it lasts a week or two and then it's over. So granted, Will has a lot more ambition, so he's going to last more than a couple of weeks with it. But then again, willpower is not something realistic to rely on when it comes to losing weight. And he is requiring willpower because it's something that, come on, does anyone really want to wake up every morning and run for cardio and then work out in the afternoon with resistance training every day? No, that's not a realistic way to go about it.
There you go. 160, baby. 160.
Exactly 60.
Shit. So, I was looking at the building, and it dawned on me that we hadn't actually climbed to the top of the Burj Khalifa. And my sense of accomplishment turned into a dejected sense of failure. So we decided that we were going to actually climb to the top of the Burj Khalifa.
During his life. The challenge was that once Will started succeeding, and this is such a danger to people who start succeeding, especially when they start succeeding young, you've set yourself up that you have to keep winning. It's almost like a team with an unbeaten record.
Another 200 meters, all right, let's see what happens. Called the spire, right? This is the individual highest point that a human being can be in a man-made structure on Earth.
Will is so able to sort of master anything through hard work and looks like the most eminent success. But that didn't come without a cost.
So now here at the end, I do want to say, I know I would love to do something like this and it would be cool. The reality is he could have used climbing to the top of the spire as his workout for that day and been done with it. But no, you know, with Will, they've got to go through this difficult process to try to lose the 20 pounds in 20 weeks. And this is why I step in here to say, if this is what you want to do, if you want to lose the stubborn belly fat and lose it for good, you want to do this without any gimmicks, gadgets, fad diets, or having to step foot in the gym. So if that's something that interests you, then go to goodbyegut.com/talk. And on that page, you will see my calendar. Pick a day and a time that works best for you, and I'll call you at that time. And then we can talk about it. And if this is something that you're ready to invest in for your future and your good health, and by the way, at this point in time, we still have a new variant of that darn virus going around. And when it comes down to it, you have to be healthy on the inside so that you can be strong to fight what's on the outside. So for those of you that are interested in making a change and doing it without having to wait for January 1st to come along and without having to give up Christmas dinner, then go to goodbyegut.com/talk. Make an appointment to talk with me, and I look forward to catching you on the other side. Oh, and yes, before I forget, there are other videos in this series, and I'm going to review all of them. So video number 3 is going to come up next. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Goodbye Gut. That way you won't miss another video. And I'll catch you on the other side.